Hi everyone, Jack from Maths Forge here. In today's lesson, we're going to be doing decimal multiplication. So let's take a look at our first example. We've got 1.1 multiplied by 2. So how I like to do decimal multiplication is as follows. Ignore the decimal point completely, so we're going to have 11 multiplied by 2. And this is going to give us 22. Now, this is not your final answer because remember we ignored the decimal point. So what we're going to do to this 22 is we're going to use the question and especially the numbers with decimal points in them to help us modify this answer so that it can be the true final answer. And how you modify it is like this. Ask yourself, how many digits are sitting behind a decimal point in your question? So I say that again, how many digits are sitting behind a decimal point in your question? Well, in this case, there's only one, and it's this one here. So if there's one digit sitting behind the decimal point in your question, then there should be one digit sitting behind the decimal point in your answer. And now normally you start from the very far right and you move across by 1. So there should only be one digit sitting behind your decimal point in the final answer, as there is one digit sitting behind the decimal point in your question. And this 2.2 should be our final answer. Let's have a look. There it is. We'll do one more one-star question. So here we have 0.7 multiplied by 4. As I said before, ignore the decimal point. So it just becomes 7 times 4, which we know is 28. And now with this 28, we're going to go to our question and see how many digits sit behind the decimal point, which is just 1. It's this 7 here. So there should be one digit sitting behind the decimal point in the answer. So it's going to be 2.8. If we check our answer, there it is. Okay, let's do a 2-star question, and we'll apply the same method to it. So we're going to ignore the decimal points. It's going to be 3 times 8, and we know 3 times 8 is 24. We're going to take our 24, and we're going to ask the following question. How many digits sit behind the decimal point in the question? Well, there's this 3, and there's this 8. So now there's 2 sitting behind the decimal point in the question. So we're going to start from the very far right. And if there's 2 sitting behind the decimal point in the question, there should be 2 digits sitting behind the decimal point in the answer. So it's going to be here. So it's going to be 0.24. And we can't just leave an empty space in front of the decimal place. So we're going to put a 0. Let's check if this is our answer. And it is the final answer. Okay, let's take a look at a 3-star question. So we have 6.9 multiplied by 98. Let's ignore the decimal place in the 6.9. So we have 69 multiplied by 98. So this is going to take a bit more effort when it comes to calculating this, but the end result should be the same as the one of the 2-star questions. Okay, so now let's do this calculation using the box method. So we're going to have 9 times 6, which is 54. And then we have 2 zeros in the question, so 2 zeros in the answer. 8 times 6 is 48. 1 0 in the question, 1 0 in the answer. 9 times 9 is 81. 1 0 in the question, 1 0 in the answer. And 9 times 8 is 72. And now we're going to add all of these up together. So 5,400, 480, 810, 72. And we're going to add these all up together. So let's see what we get. 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 2 is 2. 8 plus 1 is 9. Plus 7 is 16. So it's going to be a 6. Carry over the 1. 4 plus 4 is 8. 8 plus 8 is 16. Plus 1 is 17. So it's going to be 7. Carry over the 1. 5 plus 1 is 6. So the answer to the 69 times 98 is 6,762. And this is not the final answer to the question, as this is the calculation done without the decimal point. Now we're going to take our 6,762 and ask the question. How many digits are sitting behind the decimal point in the question? Well, it's just 1. It's this 9 here. So in our final answer, there should be 1 digit sitting behind the decimal place. So the final answer is 676.2. And if we just check our answer, there it is. And that's it for decimal multiplication. So just be careful about how many digits are behind the decimal point in the question, and then adjust your answer in the same way to get the true final answer.